Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Why the Lakers' head coaching job is losing its appeal. The Los Angeles Lakers are facing increasing ridicule after Dan Hurley turned down a 6-year, $70 million contract in favor of remaining at UConn. While the idea of chasing a third straight national title is a justified reason for Hurley to stay, his decision to pass on the purple and gold's offer raises questions about the desirability of the position. Though the Lakers have hoisted the Larry O'Brien Trophy 3 times since 2009, the franchise has been more associated with disappointment in recent years. Since then, the organization has missed the playoffs 7 times. The team has also gone through 7 head coaches, and only 2 lasted 3 seasons during this period. It's no secret that the Laker organization prides itself on being in the contention picture, and anyone who mans the helm will be on a short leash. Pairing this high standard with a roster that contains LeBron James and Anthony Davis puts a coach in a demanding win-now situation. The aggressive desire for Los Angeles to contend almost immediately may be the reason that coaches are deterred from the position. Though James is one of the best the NBA has ever seen, working with him puts all eyes on any coach he has. The instant things go south, the front office is not going to want to point fingers at James or Davis. This leaves the head coach with the harsh reality of being first in line as a scapegoat. The Lakers' heavy emphasis on winning is consistent from season to season. Even when coaches have delivered and made the team competitive, the front office has demonstrated that it has a short-term memory, relieving Frank Vogel 2 seasons after winning a championship in Darvingham 1 year removed from a Western Conference Finals appearance. With such high expectations for success and a very limited amount of time, it's no wonder that coaches such as Dan Hurley would consider looking elsewhere. Despite its prestigious history, the Lakers' head coaching job is losing its value. The past few hires by the front office have made the process of finding a coach look like a plug-in approach, frantically experimenting with which fit is the best option. This, along with frequent roster changes, makes it seem like there is a lack of commitment to give any coach time and space to build a foundation, is enough to scare any candidate off. Shams, Dan Hurley was not Lakers' #1 choice, contract seen as Hail Mary offer around league. Usually, we get to at least free agency before the Lakers become the center of a proxy war between reporters. That's not the case this year, though, as the team's search for a head coach appears ample enough of a space to launch that battle already. First, let's look at the latest. After remaining eerily silent throughout the Lakers' weekend pursuit of Dan Hurley, Shams Charania of The Athletic appeared on FanDuel TV's Run It Back on Tuesday and talked about everything that transpired for the purple and gold. While there was a good amount discussed by Charania, here's a transcript of the part we really care about. One note is that Shams mentioned staying on UConn for $20 million less, and while that may be something he's heard or reported during the show, it wasn't something previously reported. He was not the #1 candidate, the #1 guy to go pursue from the start, from the beginning. But they felt like there was an opening there for him. He was in contract negotiations with UConn. He was discussing a deal to go back, and they felt like there was an opening, and they threw what really people around the league believe was a Hail Mary offer at him. 6 years, $70 million. At the end of the day, Dan Hurley chose not to leave. He chose to stay for $20 million less at UConn. UConn did go up significantly from his current deal, but it is $20 million less. It does beg the question around the league: was there genuine interest? Was there a genuine process with this? Or was this simply about leverage? Why is this notable? Well, this contradicts a lot of what was reported by Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. According to WOJ, Hurley was the team's #1 option from the start of the process. Their offer was enticing, and Hurley viewed it as a once-in-a-lifetime deal. To be clear, given how close WOJ is to Hurley's family, he wrote a book on Dan's father many years ago. It's very likely that everything he reported is both accurate and very close to, if not straight from, the source. The Lakers' push for him this weekend was real. Setting aside any other motives, you don't bring a candidate into your facility, pitch him what the Lakers did, offer him the contract they did, and not feel comfortable with him leading your team and franchise. However, as I discussed more at length on Monday, there are some things here that don't add up. Hurley was the top target, but everything went under the radar until just days before he made his decision. Does that not raise some eyebrows? The truth, as is always the case, is somewhere in the middle. For example, I do not think the Lakers' interest in Hurley surfaced only very recently and they cobbled together a Hail Mary offer, but I also do not think he has always been the team's number one option and they've simply been slow playing this whole thing waiting on him. What is clear, whether it was intentional or not, is that the Lakers were used as leverage here. Hurley came away from this with a bigger contract offer than he had from UConn, and the Lakers are still without a head coach. How they got from without a head coach to having the interest of Hurley to without a head coach, though, is a path we don't know, and the reporting isn't going to do much to offer clarity on that matter, it seems. Russell Westbrook takes joy in Lakers whiffing on coaching search. The Los Angeles Lakers were unable to pry Dan Hurley, their preferred head coach, away from the University of Connecticut, which apparently pleased former Lakers guard Russell Westbrook. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN reported on Monday, June 10, that Hurley turned down an offer of 6 years and $70 million to lead the sidelines for one of the NBA's most iconic franchises. And while Westbrook didn't respond to Wojnarowski's ex-post with a written message, he did let his feelings be known by liking the news from his personal account. The popular Lake Show Yo account reposted Wojnarowski's report and highlighted Westbrook's engagement. Westbrook being petty, the caption said. The Lakers traded Westbrook to the Los Angeles Clippers ahead of the deadline during the 2022-23 season after a little more than a year and a half of what ultimately proved a failed experiment. Westbrook played a total of 130 regular season games for the Lakers, starting 81 of those. He averaged 17.4 points, 7.2 assists, 6.9 rebounds, and 1 steal across 32.1 minutes per game, according to Basketball Reference. Star LeBron James was a proponent of that deal, and some reporters went as far as to imply he was the catalyst of the trade with the Washington Wizards that sent Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, and a first-round pick to the nation's capital in exchange for Westbrook and second-rounders in 2024 and 2028. The three-star model didn't work out for the Lakers, as they missed the playoffs during Westbrook's one full season with the team before relegating him to a bench role early in the following campaign. It became evident that holding on to Kuzma and Caldwell-Pope, both of whom played on the 2020 title team, would have probably led to better results that year and certainly would have allowed the Lakers more flexibility to roster build moving forward. Westbrook spoke to media members in early 2023 about the trade, highlighting the Clippers' desire to have him on the squad as an important factor, a statement that implied he no longer felt wanted in the Lakers' locker room. That's a huge part, man, for anybody, for any normal human being in any situation in the workplace, Westbrook said. A lot of teammates and people that want you here, it's very important to me. I value that a lot. The Lakers will eventually hire their third head coach in 6 years, but as glamorous of a job as being a leading man in LA appears to be, it may not have the juice that some other opportunities around the league do. That was the message from ESPN's Brian Windhorst, who said on Tuesday that he believes most people around the NBA consider the Cleveland Cavaliers' job a better opening than the one with the Lakers. For many people in the NBA, I think they would think that the Cavs' job is more attractive. Number one, and the most important reason, is that the Cavs' roster is better. The Cavs have a better team than the Lakers do. Secondly, the Cavs play in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference right now, the ability to compete and win at the highest level, it's an easier path. And frankly, the Cavs organization might outpay the Lakers on the head coach. The comparison is beyond ironic considering James left Cleveland the second time to head to LA. However, the Lakers will obviously land someone eventually, and there are a handful of names still in the mix. The Lakers resumed their search and will continue to bring in previous candidates, including New Orleans Pelicans assistant James Borrego, Boston Celtics assistant Sam Cassell, Denver Nuggets assistant David Adelman and J.J. Redick, sources said, Tim Bontemps of ESPN wrote on Monday. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Russell Westbrook? Leave your opinion in the comments.